So it starts off with the mythology of Saturn. So a long time ago, like thousands, tens of thousands of years ago, Saturn lived on the Earth. I guess it was a human. His father was like the ruler of the universe, and I'm not sure what his father's name was. I never found that out, but he lived on Earth, and he was like the ruler of Atlantis. So like whenever Atlantis was around, that's when Saturn was on Earth, and he decided, he was ruler of Atlantis. And so what I know about it is, eventually he ended up killing his father, who was the ruler of the universe, and then he became the ruler of the universe. He deposed his father and became the new ruler of the universe. So, he went out into space, I guess, and he ended up marrying his sister, who was like some other deity, but it was a sister. So he ended up marrying her, and whenever they had a child, he would swallow it because he didn't want it to grow up like he did and depose him. So he swallowed all of his children. Well, he had this one child who was Jupiter, and when the mother had Jupiter, she put a rock inside of the blanket, and gave it to Saturn, and he swallowed it, thinking it was. She took the real baby Jupiter down to Earth and put him on, in Greece. He became like the Greek god Jupiter, Zeus. So, anyways, so Zeus grew up, he became Jupiter. His father put him in some like Saturn put him in some position, and then he tricked him somehow. I guess he made him vomit up all the rest of his brothers and sisters, which were like all the other planets. They had like, they were like the ones that he had swallowed before. He made him vomit it up, and it became like the rest of the solar system. Basically, if you look at the North Pole of Saturn, there's like a pentagram, not a pentagram, but a pentagon or a hexagon, and it's like the shape of a hexagon on the North Pole of Jupiter, or not Jupiter, Saturn, and it looks. If you draw the three together, it becomes a cube. So that's the idea of the Saturnian Cube, and basically it's like a prison for souls. So a long time ago, Saturn started working with the archons, and they created the rings around Saturn. And this is like some David Icke stuff that I'm talking about here. They created the rings around Saturn, and they created the moon construct, which is now referred to as like the Saturn moon matrix. And basically what it is like, the idea is that Saturn is like a big broadcasting antenna with the ring, and it works with the moon. And basically what it's doing is broadcasting this reality to on the Earth that we're living in now. It's like it's totally manipulating our reality to its will, to the reality that we're living in, which is a very interesting idea. It's like Saturn is also thought of as Kronos. That's another word, and like the Grim Reaper and all that. Like, he's like the keeper of time. Like he wants to keep everybody trapped inside of his matrix. So the idea of escaping the matrix, that's what it's all about. Is because if you don't escape it, you'll become trapped. Well, not everybody will, but the idea is that a bunch of people will become trapped inside of the Saturnian Cube, like the prison for souls. It's basically like hell. It's just another idea of hell. But yeah, there's a lot of Saturn worship in the world. Everywhere you look, where there's powerful people and all of their logos and stuff, like the Nike swoosh is like a Saturn. You know, there's a bunch of them, a bunch of emblems that look like Saturn. Those are all Saturn worship. And even the car Saturn. It's all over the place. You don't have to look far to see symbols that look like Saturn. It's a mind control grid, so it's controlling people's minds more than anything. Like, it's like a conscious. It's like Hollywood. It's it's the music industry. It's all it's all the video games. Man, it's all in that sigil magic. There's a lot of Saturn symbolism in sigils. What it is a control to get people, to not see the truth, basically, to get people into this, blinded by this pop culture that we live in. There's just cubes everywhere, Even at the Century 21 shooting here in Aurora, there's a big cube. And there's all kinds of symbolism in that theater. The cube it just permeates all through our culture. Yeah, Saturn represents evil. It's the farthest planet from the sun, really. That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive about that, but Pluto is no longer a planet, and it's the most dense planet. Where Jupiter's bigger, but Jupiter's more massive. But I think Saturn is much denser. It's like pound per pound. Jupiter's heavier or Saturn is heavier than Jupiter. It's constantly struggling with the sun for power, basically. Where the sun represents the light and the good. Basically the positive energy. And then Saturn represents the darkness and the evil, and the keeper of time, which keeps humans locked in the matrix. That's his goal, is to keep us all locked in the matrix. And the more souls that Saturn can capture in his cube, the more powerful he becomes. Look, there goes another one. Spraying their chemtrails all day long. So basically, all the powerful people today all worship Saturn. Basically, Satan broadcasting from Saturn. It's like a big antenna to the moon. There's a receiver. It's true. Dogs do face north when they poop. Yeah, what a trip, man. It's true. Aliens actually created the rings of Saturn. Aliens, or the Archons, you might call them. They're using Saturn as a big old radio antenna to broadcast our reality. That's the idea. Yeah, I think Saturn is the 8th planet from the sun. And Freemasonry, 8 is the number of control. So Saturn control grid. That's your buddy, Dingo. That's your buddy. How you doing?
Oh, summer again. Look.
Yeah.
Maybe only a day or two, but that'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, the last 4 days were brutal, huh?
Oh, goodness. Bizarre winter.
Yeah. See that stop sign? That's a symbol of total control. That's a symbol of Saturn.